Here's a question for you. Is sales a numbers game? That's something I heard somebody say the other day, and I thought that'd make a good subject for this week's 4-Minute Friday. If you don't know me, my name is Brian Conway, and this is 4-Minute Friday, where I take 4 minutes on a Friday to share with you a tip, strategy, or tactic, or something that will help you make more sales. And I heard the other day somebody saying sales isn't a numbers game, it's a trust game. Well, I agree, it is definitely a trust game, that's without doubt. But is it a numbers game? Well, I think it depends how you define numbers, because the answer is potentially yes or no, which isn't really much of an answer anyway. So it needs some quantification or qualification. So first of all, if you're looking at numbers with regards to things like your profitability or average client value, your acquisition costs, or if you're looking at conversion metrics like your sales pipeline, or you're looking at your sales process, and then you're looking at the conversion ratios of prospects as they move through that process, and looking at how you can optimize the performance of your business or your selling based on those numbers, then definitely sales is a numbers game. And actually, it really is a numbers game, because those are the things that really can help you be successful. However, when most people say sales is a numbers game, that's not actually what they're referring to. I think most people, when they say that, are actually referring to the fact that if you do enough volume, that there's a probability that you will make some sales. If you throw enough mud at the wall, something will stick. Those sorts of phrases are often referred to, or associated, I should say, with that phrase that sales is a numbers game. And I think that is far from the truth, and sales is definitely not a numbers game in that sense. Maybe back in the day, maybe if you've got a high volume business or whatever, and it's very transactional and tactical, there's some truth in that. I can't really comment on that. But I think the fact that you can just do a volume it's soul destroying, I think, for you, first of all, but it's also annoys the heck out of a lot of prospects. So, for example, on LinkedIn at the moment, obviously a lot of people are practicing that principle of volume by just connecting and pitching people. It's driving me crazy. Every connection request I seem to get at the moment, and I accept most of them, will then lead to a follow-up message that says, "Hey Brian, love the fact that we're able to connect. Or why don't we set up a 20 to 30-minute phone call, and I can tell you all about how I can help you grow your business, blah blah." Well, who says I want to grow my business? So I could assume I do, but there's no qualification in there. It's just numbers. It's just pitching, and I hate that phrase, especially when they get it so wrong. I had one the other day that said, "As a fellow gym owner, I'd love to talk to you about how I could help you grow the number of patrons," or whatever you might call them, members, to attending your gym. So I went back to him and said, "I don't run a gym. Why would you even say that?" And he said, "Oh, well, I did a search for gym owners and on LinkedIn, and you came up." Well, so you didn't even read my profile. Behave yourself. That's not selling, is it? That is numbers. That is just volume, outreach, and pitching and hoping something sticks. Please don't do that. It's not quality selling, and it's giving professional salespeople a bad reputation. And it can be bad enough without having that kind of activity going on to tarnish the brand of a professional salesperson any more than need be. So that's all I want to say on the subject this week. I'd be interested to get your thoughts, please, in the comments. What do you think? Is sales a numbers game? Am I correct? Incorrect? What do you think? I'd love to hear your thoughts. So on that note, please try not to be annoying to your prospects, and be what's sometimes called a welcome guest, as I heard someone else once say. I think it's what's his name? Yeah, Dan Kennedy. Be a welcome guest, not an annoying pest. And I think when you're practicing volume, you're annoying. But when you know your numbers, then your business can be optimized and perform extremely well. That's my thought for the week. Hope you found it useful. This has been 4-Minute Friday. My name is Brian Conway. Have a great weekend. More importantly, have a great week of selling next week. And I look forward to seeing you again. All the best. Bye-bye.